Hey, can you guys hear me? If you can hear me, please let me know. Can you hear me? Yep. Okay, cool. Thank you. All right, we'll start at 7. Now we have 1 minute. You can relax. Okay, guys. Today we are going to do the Bootstrap. So before we are doing the Bootstrap, so you might have questioned what's the Bootstrap. So Bootstrap, you can Google it. Basically, it's called Twitter Bootstrap. So now it's on version 4. So if you hit Google and you type Twitter Bootstrap on Google, so the first result will come up is Bootstrap, the most popular HTML, CSS, and JS library. So I'm going to click on that, but I will give you some time. You can do the Google Bootstrap, and then you do the same thing, and we go to the site and see what it is. So yeah, here we go, and we got to this site called Get Bootstrap. Basically, it's on the version right now is version 4.4.1. So you may have questioned what is Bootstrap doing. So when we do the HTML, so like for example, we create a button like this kind of button. So in the plain HTML, the button looks really bad. So that's why every time you have to do the CSS. So you might ask, what is CSS? So CSS, what is CSS? Most of you guys might already know. So CSS stands for style sheets. So what does it mean is how you decorate the HTML elements. Like for example, we have a H1 here, like the header 1, but you want to put the color called blue. So you have to, in the CSS you put the color blue, and then you make all your text become blue. But for a website, if you want to create a new website, you don't really need to customize each of the elements. Like in here, like you put the style called color blue, blah blah. So every time you will do the same thing again and again, and it's kind of boring. And that's why we came up with something called framework. So and Bootstrap is one of the framework, and you can use and make your HTML looks pretty. So it is pretty. So we are going to start with the plain HTML web page, and then we are going to install the Bootstrap. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up my Visual Studio Code, like every time I did. And then we have for the JavaScript, and we create a folder in the desktop, right? So I'm gonna open it, but if you don't have the folder, and never mind, you just create a folder in your desktop like me. So I create one in the desktop called projects. If you don't have it, you just create in Windows, you right click and create a new folder, and in Mac you can click on new folder and create a folder called projects. And I also have two subfolder. One is for CCC, the other one is for JavaScript. But it really doesn't matter. We just need a folder to put our code there. So I have a JS folder here. I hope you already have a folder. So I may open the project. So inside here, I create a index.html, and last time we put we learned the canvas, so and the animation. And today, what I'm going to do, I just create a new folder called, let's just create a new folder called like B1. How about for Bootstrap, just B1. Okay, so inside the B1, and I want you to create a index.html, and yeah, and then inside here you might just type h1 and call hello world, something like this. So I'm gonna save it, and I give you some time. What you need to do, just have a folder and create an index.html, and now you have the h1 here, and that's it. And if you have done, let me know and put it on the comment, and so I can move forward. Okay, I want you guys to make a HTML file like what I did here. Just one HTML file, one folder and one HTML file, and you open your Visual Studio Code and just type h1 and hello world. So, and if you're done, let me know and put it on the comment so I can move forward. If you don't have a computer, you probably just listen to what I'm talking. So I'm waiting for you. Hey Dan, I think you already have the Visual Studio Code. If you don't, you probably in Windows you might use the text. What's that called? Note, something called Notepad. If you have Notepad or Notepad Plus, that's okay. You still can use the Notepad. And if you have the Visual Studio Code, and you create a folder, like any folder in your desktop, like I just create a folder in my desktop here and call projects. So, and I come to my Visual Studio Code and I open the folder, like open, and go to desktop and projects and click open, and then you open it, and now you open it and you right click, or you go here, this button called new file, here new file, and you click on it and just type index.html, index.html, and then you will create a new file. Okay, is that easy? Yeah, if you still have problem, just ping me on here, or I'm going to open the Zoom, and so if you have question, we can work on Zoom. But I think most of you guys have already created a file, right? If you are not, and I will still give you like 3 minutes, you just have your Visual Studio Code open. If you don't have Visual Studio Code, you can in Windows you can do Notepad or Notepad++. Okay, and in Mac, I guess you are also with the Visual Studio Code, or there's a application called Text Edit. You can use that as well. But yeah, I want you guys to use Visual Studio Code. Yeah, that would be easier, much more easier, like Visual Studio Code. Okay, yeah. If you didn't download the Visual Studio Code, you can just go Google and type Visual Studio Code download. You type this, and then you hit enter. Now you go to here, and of course you will choose your version of your PC or Mac or Linux. And does anyone use Linux? If you use Linux, let me know. Okay, I know Aaron uses Linux, so if your dad or your mom have some old PC or old laptop, you should wipe it out and install the Linux. So make fun of Linux is pretty fun. Okay, install a Linux version. But if you are on Windows, you have to click here and install the Visual Studio Code in Mac, and you click on this button and download and install it. Okay, if you already have the Visual Studio Code, just open it and create a new file called index.html. Yeah, it's just a convention because we like to use index, the name called index, and because in the old day, and we use index to for the those websites like Yahoo. In the old day, they list all the link on their web page, so they make the name called index, so you can through the page you can go different website. So it's that's why we call index, and because it's an HTML file, so you have index.html. So I hope you guys already create it. Please, if you already have the file create, please let me know and put it on the comment in the chat box, so I can know you guys are all done and create the index.html. Okay. And so on. Don't use repel because you got to have the Visual Studio Code here, because in repel and it's not going to work, because we're going to use the Visual Studio Code, or you can use a notepad or Notepad plus in Windows. Yeah, so don't use repel, just use or yeah, it's better to use VS Code. Yeah, so it's up to you. If repel support HTML, it's okay, but because we are going to do some installation, and if you use repel, but yeah, we can try it out. I never use repel to do the HTML, honestly. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. For some of you haven't get in on time, and what I want you to do, just like you go to your desktop and create a folder called projects, and then inside the folder you use the Visual Studio Code to open that folder, and just click on this button, create a new file called index.html. Like you create index.html, something like this. So we have to have this file, okay? All right. Yeah, really doesn't matter if you are using what kind of IDE, it's okay for you. So we just want to have the hello world here. So I will go to my browser, like I use Chrome, and I click on the new tab. In Windows, you probably have to have a shortcut called Control+O, or in Mac I just Command O. So I'm going to desktop and projects.js, and of course you just find out where's the index you just create, and you create this one, and you choose the index.html, you open it, and you should have hello world. Okay, that's the easy way to do it. And some of you guys learned the HTML and JavaScript before. You probably know how to use server to open the file, but here you can just use the browser to open the hello world. Okay, so that's what I want you to do. Just open it and have the hello world. And if you're done, just let me know on the chat box. So we type hello world here, and we show up here. Okay. Okay, yeah, I will repeat it one more time. So make sure you already create a file called index.html, and then you type in this thing. So h1, so which is HTML markup. So you have h1 and a closed markup /h1, and inside here you have the hello world. So we just use the HTML h1 to make your text is bigger. So that's why I have I just use this to create a hello world. And then you go to your browser like Chrome, and you can do of course you can, if you can click the file, and you can open file, like open file, right? you can open file, and you go to the desktop, the folder you just create, and you go JS. It's not just JS. You just find the file you just create, like index.html. I create in here, and then you open it. The other way to open, I use shortcut all the time. In Windows, I use Control-O, and in Mac, I use Command-O. So the same, and I open the prompt, and you just go desktop, projects, find the index.html, you click on it, and then you will open the file, and it will show hello world. Of course, you don't have to be just a hello world. You can type whatever you want, right? Like Jordan probably know how to customize the hello world with different words. But yeah, if you still have any question and you have trouble to open the index.html and the hello world doesn't show up, just let me know. I'm going to open my Zoom, and if you want me to help, and we will work on the Zoom, okay? Let me just use this one and see what happens. And Jquery, you don't run it on the Notepad++, okay? You're not gonna run it on the, you just use the Notepad++ to write the code. Like here, if I use this Notepad, this like Notepad, right? What I did is just like h1 hello world, or I am a Notepad++. H1, okay, something like this. When I save it, and I just go save, for example, I save it on desktop here, and I create a new folder called any folder, like P1, for example, P1 here, and I'm gonna save it. When I save it, I just index.html, and you click save. You click save and use HTML. So I already create a file called index.html. So again, you just go to you are going to run your program in Chrome because it's a web page. So you go here, click on File, Menu, File, and there's an option called Open File. Open File. You just click Open File. There's something pop up, and you click on Desktop and the folder you just create, and find the index.html, and now you open it. Now it will show you I am a Notepad++. Okay. Yeah. If you have any problem, just join the Zoom meeting, and so I can probably help you. Okay, so but in Notepad, I'm sorry, it's not Notepad. So shall we continue? Like projects, sorry, desktop projects, my thing. Okay, so we go back to the Visual Studio Code. Okay, here. Usually in the HTML, for the HTML file, we will have something like this, and you will type less than exclamation, and you type doc type and HTML and greater than always on the first line, because that means your HTML is on version 5, HTML5. Okay, so I want you to have this line on the first line, and then usually you will have something called head. Okay, head, and then you will have something called body. Okay, body, and usually we put the HTML code inside the body here, and we will install something in between the head for the Bootstrap. Okay, but I want you to do what I want you to do, just like do whatever I did here. Just the first line, always put the doc type HTML, and then you create a HTML markup called head. It's a head, and then you have a body, and inside the body you have a hello world. Okay, that is easy. Now I save it, and I come back to here, and nothing changed. So I refresh, and hello world. Okay, so yeah, I give you a few minutes. You do this typing, and if you have done, let me know. And also, if you have a problem, please join my Zoom, and then we will work on your problem.
Hurry up!
One more thing I want you guys to do is like if you want me to inform every time I want you to I have to inform your parent to have the to the class. If I don't want you to do I don't want it all to do it all the time, could you please just subscribe? Hit the subscribe button, and after you hit the subscribe, there's a bell here. You can click on the bell, or yeah, like what I did here, and you can subscribe this channel, my channel. So and it will be good. So hey Walker, if you have a problem, just join the Zoom and we can work together, okay? So yeah, I think you like almost everybody have been done. So it's easy, just go to the Chrome and click file and then open the file, and open the file you just create, like the index.html. All right, so it would open this file and we will show hello world. So it's easier, nothing fancy, nothing awesome, just hello world. Okay, and let's go back to the Bootstrap. Go back to the Bootstrap and you see there's something called installation, right? So what they said here, use the something called npm. We are not going to use npm here, and we are going to use this called cdn. Okay, and every time what I read the document, I will click on the get started, and you go get Bootstrap, and I click get started. So you go here, is called introduction, and what you need to do, you just go to the CSS part, you copy it. Here there's a button called copy. You click on copy, okay? And now you go back to the your index.html, between the head, you just paste, and you can just have Control V, and then you can paste the first one. Okay, and the second thing is like they also want you to install the Jquery with the Bootstrap. It doesn't really have to. Only some of the components need the JavaScript. But if you want, you can also do copy. So you do CSS copy, and then you do JavaScript copy, and you come back here. Inside the body, you can also put it on the head, or the better practice is put it inside the body, always by the end of the body. By the end of the body, like this body, by the end of the body. Okay? And you may ask why. Because when the browser try to download the resources, the first thing they will download from the beginning, like this one, this link, they will try to download this one, and then they will do this part, your HTML code, and then they will come here to download all these libraries. And we don't want to block our component, and that's why we want to download all the script somehow at the end. That's why we always put it by the end of this body. But it doesn't have to. You can put it anywhere around this HTML. Yeah, I forgot a little bit thing. For the good practice, you might have to put the HTML at the beginning and slash HTML at the end. So that will be more it's more general. I mean, you don't have to, but you should have better to do it to keep aligned on the same syntax. So like for you put the HTML here and the HTML here, so that which means they will know, all of your code will be between this HTML. Okay. So I will expand a little bit, and you will see I will repeat it one more time. Okay. So the first thing is like you go to this link. Like what I show you is from the home, the Bootstrap, go to Get Started. You click that and you go to the introduction, and now there's a CSS here, and you click copy, and now you paste the first copy and paste it on here. That is the CSS file. And we also wanted some Jquery, and that's why we copied it here and then paste by the end of the body. Since we want to tell the browser, hey, we are using HTML, that's why we have the open HTML tag and close HTML here. Okay, so I want you to do the same thing, just some copy and paste. And I paste the link here, and then you can go to this link and do the copy and paste. And I will give you some time and let me know once you're done. And once you're done, you can go back to the index.html in your browser. You can click refresh, and your hello world should be a little bit different. And once you're done, please leave a comment on the chat box. Okay? All right. And I will have Ali. If you need help, you have to join the Zoom again. Sorry about that. I missed your message. If you still have the problem, just let me know. Okay? Just join the Zoom and we can talk. All right. Good job. And make sure check your hello world and see any difference or not. Yep. Okay. And then after that, we will make some funny things. Like we will add a button, we will add a lot of things in the Bootstrap. So you will see is really good. Yep. Hey, Ali. Hello, Ali. Hey, Ali.
Hello.
So Hey guys, I found some of you guys already create a file exactly what I did here, but when you open the browser, it doesn't show anything because you didn't save your file. So you can click on the menu file, and then there's a button called Save. In Windows, you can do the shortcut. You hold the Control key and press the S, and you will save the file after you make some change. And every time, just double check. If there's a white dot over here, it means you didn't save the change on your file. Okay. All right. Yeah. And we go back to the get started. We come back here, and now there's a component on your left hand side. There's components. You click components, and you will see there's a lot of things here. Okay, so what we want to try is try buttons. So let me say it again. Let's go back, and on your left hand side there's a components. This button, you click on components, and you find this buttons here. You click on buttons. Okay, what I want you to do, you just copy. You copy this whole. You click copy this button, and you go back to your go back to here to the index.html in Visual Studio Code or in your IDE or on Notepad++, and you just paste, and you paste all of them here. Okay, and after that you have better to Control S to save your file, or you can click on the menu and save. And after you save, you go back to the browser, go to the index.html, you hit refresh, and you should have all the button here. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna show you one more time because we just do some copy and paste. Okay, we are not going to do the NVM or NPM because we are using the CDN here. We are using CDN. Okay, CDN. We are using CDN. I will explain the difference between them. Okay, but right now you just do what I said. I go back here, because we just copied the CSS file, right? In the CSS link and the JS link on your left hand side. On here there's a components. You click on the components, and then there are a lot of components here. So I just choose buttons. You go to buttons, and you want the buttons. For example, you want the blue button. The blue button, you click copy. You just copy, and it will copy the whole code here. All the code here. Okay. You go back to your index.html. You just paste all. You Control V to paste all this code under your hello world. Okay, and after you copy it, what you need to do is just save it. Control S, you save it. After you save it, and you go back to your index.html in the browser and refresh, you will show all of them, like different color of button. Okay, if you're done, just let me know and put it in the chat box if you have any question or problem, and go to Zoom and we can work together. Okay. And once you're done, please leave me a comment, and so we know how far you go, so we can move forward. Okay, thank you. So yeah, I think most of you guys have done it. Just copy and paste. It's very easy for you. So let me explain a little bit here. For the button is like, for example, you want to make a button, right? Like I'm going to write button, just button, and just a button. And I save it and I refresh. So you will see my button is here, and I type something like, for example, like a good button. So I say, and again I refresh, is a good button. So you will see that it's ugly, right? This I'm not saying it's really ugly, but it comparing to this fancy button, it looks not that nice. And that's why we need the Bootstrap. So what the Bootstrap do, it just add some class, this kind of class. This class is, they define the style in this class, like this kind of class. So what I'm going to do is I just, in my button, I just add a button, like add one class. I just add btn, okay, add this class. And this btn is the Bootstrap class, is from the Bootstrap CSS. So let me refresh and see what's the difference. So it will look a little bit weird, and I just put this class, and I'm going to put the other class. So inside the class, you need a space to separate them. You can put two classes. Like I'm going to put the danger class. Okay, I just btn danger. So once I finished, I put these two classes, and see, we will go back to the, I save my file, I will go back here, and after I refresh, this a good button should be, looks exactly like this button, the red button. So I'm going to refresh. So it will look exactly the same. That's how the Bootstrap works. It just helps us to style our HTML element. If, for example, if you want the info button, like this kind of color, and you can add this class, okay? And what I want you to do, you create your own one more button in here, after the hello world, the first one. And I want you to customize your button color, and in any color, like for example green or dark or blue. So see if you can do it or not. All right, so let me know if you're already done, and put a comment on the chat box. so I know you are done. And also, if you have a problem, let me know on Zoom and we can work together.
Hurry up!
All right, I think most of you guys have been done. So I think we are getting close for today's class. So what I want you to do is, like, for example, you have buttons here, right? A lot of buttons here. You can try different button and copy it and paste back to the HTML index.html file, or you can try different thing. Like, for example, you want to have the drop downs. Let's try drop downs, and you do the same thing. We are going to copy the whole set, and you go back to the your HTML file. What you need to do is just like paste back here, and you save it. Then you go back here and refresh, and you have the drop down button. And if you want to say, hey, I want to change some text here, like this drop down button, right? So what are you going to do? So you just go back to your HTML, and you find where's the drop down button. Yeah, most of the text should be between the markup, the HTML markup, which means you shouldn't change the text inside the markup. You just, like, for example, I want to change the drop down button, like I would say like, for example, like colors, like colors. So I change the drop down button to colors. So I come back and refresh, and you will change the text to colors. And you can also change this action, like you go back here and you see there's a drop down menu, and you can change these, like for example blue and red and green. Okay, and now you go back here and refresh, and you click the drop down and blue, red, and green. And so what the Bootstrap do is just like you add a class attribute here, and they already define this class for you. And then once you put exactly the same class here, you will get exactly the same style in this HTML component. Okay, so yeah, I will say it again, and you go, for example, you are working on the buttons, right? And you can choose drop downs, or you can choose any of them, but let's just choose some easier one, just drop downs. And you scroll down, and there's a drop down button, the single button, and you just click copy. And now you go back here, and to the between the script and the button, and you paste the block you just copied, called a drop down. And once you paste it here and you save your file, and then you go back and refresh, you should have a drop down button in here. And you go back and you change the drop down text to colors and some drop down items to blue, red, green, and it will show exactly what you have changed. Okay, and that's what I want you to do. And if you have time, you can work on the other, like the other components, like pop up, pop over. They're also fun, and you can just copy it and paste. And of course, later you might understand why we need this kind of class and how to customize the Bootstrap. But at the moment, I just want you to copy and paste and get some feeling how the Bootstrap works. Okay. And once you are done, and you can place a comment here, or I think that's it for today. And if you still have some time, you can just do some copy and paste, like playing with this kind of thing. Like, oh, you can just copy and paste and make some cool button, cool text. Okay, so but for this lesson, we just want to know, you know, how to create a button, like this kind of button or drop down button. Okay, if you're done, just let me know and we are good to go. And of course, if you have a question, you can just use the Zoom to connect to me, and then we can work together. Hey, D, what you need to do is just, hey, D.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, what I want you to do, you have to share your screen, and so we can work together.
How do you do that?
If you can see my screen, and then, yeah, in the YouTube, oh yeah, you got it. So what's your problem?
Wait, yeah.
Yeah, it looks good, but yeah, I want to see what's the problem. But obviously here, let me see. Yeah.
Wait, sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. You can continue to share your screen and you go back to your Chrome and refresh and see. I want to see what's the problem.
Okay, wait.
Yeah, you just go back and click on the share screen and then you can share your screen.
I can't share my Chrome. Oh, never mind. Like.
Yeah, it will. Yeah, it looks good. It looks good.
Like the primary and this, like the other buttons are supposed to be at the top, right?
Yeah. If you go back to your Visual Studio Code. Yeah. So yeah. See if you put the see if you put the button the drop down button, you paste it the line 9 to 18. If you copy the whole from 9 to 18, sorry, from 10, line 10 to no, you have to cut or the whole block from the drop down. I mean from the drop down. I mean the line 9.
Line 9.
Yeah, you hold your mouse and select to line 18.
Okay, so okay.
Yeah, I mean you have to put it under all the button between the under the button, so they are just come in sequence. You know what I mean? No, it's not right. Yeah, you paste that there. Yep, that's good. And yeah, let me see if you can do screen option. Okay, so what I want you to do, you just go remove from 9 to 19. Remove all of them. Just delete all of them.
Oh, just delete.
Yeah, delete all of them. Yep.
Okay.
You click delete. Yep. And now you save your index.html. You come file. Yeah. Save. Yep. Good. Now you go back to the website.
Okay.
Yeah, and you go back to the website. Go to the drop down.
Yeah.
And you click copy.
Yeah.
And now you go back to the Visual Studio Code. And now you share the screen to me and let's see. Okay, so you just go to the line 21.
21.
Line 21. Yeah. And now you just paste Control V. Yes. And now you save it. And now you go back to the Chrome.
Okay.
And now you refresh and see what happened.
Oh, it works.
It works? Okay, yeah. Nice. And that's it for today. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Yep, bye.
See you.
See you. All right, that's it for today. Bye, guys.